Elspeth can build some of the strongest armies in the entire empire, but not all of the builds are obvious. So here are 5 army comps that work best or only when playing Elspeth campaigns, focusing on legendary difficulty. Number 1, we have Pistoliers stack. The army comp is simple. You will definitely want Master Engineer and Engineer, both with Hochland Scope Strafe, which increases range of all gunnery, infantry and cavalry units in the army by 10%. You can use a wizard in the army if you want to, and probably light is still the best. And the rest of the army should be 17 to 18 Pistoliers. Pistolier army is great in any Empire faction, but with Elspeth it's way stronger because of Imperial Gunnery's cool upgrades they can get. Extra speed and restock are amazing, but Disorient also helps them kite around the map. Pistoliers is one of the first armies you should always recruit when playing Elspeth campaign. They are great against all early game enemies you will face, like vampires, ogres or greenskins, or any other melee factions. And later on you can send them into Norska to fight Norska or Warriors of Chaos. They can also be decent against Bretonnia. However, they are not great against ranged factions like any sort of elves, dwarves, Kislev, Chaos Dwarves. However, you will not fight these factions in the early stage, when you are using this army comp the most, except Trika. Another weakness of this army are sieges. They are really bad in sieges, so you should use Pistoliers as a support army for field battles. They can also be very map dependent. On some maps you might struggle with them, but still they are your best option against all early game threats. This army comp is really easy to play. It is a micro dependent, but you will just have to kite and shoot, restock once you are low on ammo, and then kite and shoot some more. You should always try to kill fast enemy units first to make battles easier. Second really good army comp in Elspeth faction is Gunline with cannons. You will once again need Master Engineer and Engineer with Hochland Scope Straits for extra range. The rest of the army are 4 to 5 cannons, 6 Noon Iron Sights, 4 Outriders and 4 Hochland Long Rifles. You can check my video on this army, the link is in description, but some quick notes. This is an excellent gunline army, good against mass infantry and large targets and characters. It has very strong control with massive slow effects on cannons through monstrous impact. However, it can struggle against high physical resistance enemies, but then you can bring Amethyst units, which have magical attacks, and also it can struggle against factions with lots of spawn abilities like Scale and Menace Belows and Demons. The good thing is you can build this army quite early as tier 3, and it's also very easy to play. You just deploy the army and shoot the enemies. As for Elspeth, you can build Endless Winds of Magic artillery build. You will need Elspeth, 1 engineer, 2 Amethyst Hellstorm rocket batteries, 3 cannons, 6 Amethyst iron sights. As for other 7 units, you can choose whatever you like. The mix of Outriders and Hochland long rifles is really good, and also Life Wizard can be handy, because Amethyst iron sights, once fully upgraded, will get iron resolve ability, which prevents entities from dying before a unit reaches 50% of their health, and with healing they can be quite durable. Only Elspeth can field up to 8 Amethyst units in one army, so you should take full advantage of it. Once fully upgraded, Amethyst Hellstorm rocket batteries will get ability Last Rites, which increases power recharge and reserves per second, providing you with extra winds of magic. And through passive ability of Lore of Death, Life Leeching, you will get infinite winds of magic. More wizards can also be nice, because Empire has quite a few followers and items that provide power reserve capacity, so you can infinitely spam Purple Sun and Spirit Leech. If you like magic, this is a great build for it. However, since this army is led by Elspeth and not Master Engineer, all missile units will have shorter range, so relying on magic over missiles makes sense. This is however late stage army, and you can also struggle to keep your artillery alive against spawn factions, but it's one of the strongest and most thematic options for Elspeth. Cannons are there just for the control, just like in the previous army comp. Speaking of Amethyst units, Amethyst Outriders are one of the best units in the entire roster, but you can only have limited amount of them in the army. So the question is, what works the best with Amethyst Outriders? Personally, I like to combine them with steam tanks and create an armor assault army. They work best in mobile compositions when you don't have to worry about your backline. Amethyst Outriders are great against infantry, while steam tanks can deal with large units and single entities, so they have a lot of synergy together. As for the rest of the army, tanks already have emergency repairs, but you can also bring Life Wizard for extra heals. Also, once fully upgraded, Amethyst Outriders will get stock and unspottable, making them even better in this composition. This is, however, a late stage game army, and it's good against everything. Gameplay is quite simple. You can charge with your steam tanks and make enemies clump around them, and then come close with Outriders and bomb the entire area. Now there is also a cheaper variant of this army with the same idea, and you will use war wagons with mortars instead of Amethyst Outriders, again with steam tanks. So the war wagons with mortars also get snipe and stock, just like regular mortars. So having the fully mobile and stalking army is amazing. It's less powerful, but you can use war wagons if you struggle to get enough schematics for upgrades for Amethyst Outriders. And speaking of invisible units, you can try a weird comp that can work on specific maps. It's Electrocount mortars, suits on guns, combined with Knights of the Black Rose and Hochland long rifles. The hidden mortars with stock and snipe that do not do friendly fire have a lot of synergy with Knights of the Black Rose, who have Iron Resolve passive effect thanks to Landmark. I covered this build in Empire Frontline video. It's not a doomstack, but it's an interesting choice and can be good against spawning enemies like Skaven. And finally, you have one of the strongest options, the Landship doomstack, which you can boost to a crazy amount in Elspeth faction. You can have up to 5 Amethyst Landships, which will get Mortis engine effect, but keep in mind that it doesn't stack. You will do the same damage in a blob with 1 or with 5, so 1 or 2 is enough, maybe 2 to cover wider area, and the rest can be a basic Landships. With landmine abilities, they can do a lot of damage to infantry, and with spear port, they will reflect melee damage back to attackers. They are also decently durable against small missile fire, with 360 missile block chance, and their shooting can deal with a lot of single entities and large targets. This is another late game army that's also really easy to use. So there are other comps you can use with Elspeth, but also in other Empire factions. If you are looking for a good generic gunline build for Empire, watch this video next. See ya!